Okay, so if you're an entrepreneur and you've ever felt, well, stuck, then this one's for you. We're about to dive into some powerful ideas inspired by the work of Rajarshi Mani on how you can shift from just hustling to actually building a business that can scale, all by using AI in a really smart way. You know the scene, right? That harsh blue light from the monitor, the coffee that went cold hours ago, and that to-do list that just seems to grow no matter what you cross off. It's like the official uniform of the entrepreneur. We've been taught to wear that exhaustion like it's a badge of honor, like it means we're doing it right. But what if that's the very thing holding you back? And that burnout feeling, it leads us right to the core of the problem, what we can call the unscalable hustle. Look, that initial grind is absolutely necessary. It's what gets you off the ground, but it's not a flight plan. It's not how you build something that lasts. And here's the thing, the hard truth we all have to face. There is a very real, very hard limit on your personal energy. You can't just keep working 20% harder and expect 20% more growth forever. It just doesn't work that way. Your effort is a finite resource. But systems? Well, systems can be almost infinite. This metaphor just nails it, doesn't it? In today's world, ignoring these new tools, especially AI, it's not just a little inefficient, it's a massive strategic mistake. You're basically choosing to show up to a laser fight with a stick, and, spoiler alert, you're not going to win. So, how do you get your hands on those laser-guided tools? Well, it all starts with a huge mindset change. It's what's called the agentic shift, and it's all about moving from being the main doer in your business to becoming the director. And look, this is a trap so many people fall into. They ask an AI to write a tweet or summarize this article. That is barely scratching the surface of what's possible. It's like owning a supercomputer and only using it as a calculator. The real magic isn't just in asking it to do simple tasks. It's in getting it to run entire systems for you. I mean, just look at this comparison. It says everything. The old way meant hours of digging through data or just staring at a blank screen, hoping for inspiration. The new way, an AI agent does the deep research while you're sleeping, and another AI builds the skeleton of your content. You're not being replaced here. You're being promoted from worker to architect. All right, so the theory sounds great, but let's make this real. Let's walk through a little case study to see exactly how this AI-powered model can completely change a business from the inside out. So let's meet Alex. He's a really talented freelance copywriter, but he has a huge problem. His income is directly tied to the hours he can physically work. He's literally trading his time for money. And once he runs out of time, well, that's it. Growth stops. He is completely trapped in the time for money prison. So how does he get out? It's this simple three-phase escape plan. First, he has to identify the real bottleneck, which is his own time. Second, and this is the key, he integrates AI. He stops being just the writer. He becomes the editor-in-chief, letting AI do the heavy lifting of research and first drafts. And that frees him up for phase 3, scale. Now he can spend his precious time on the things only a human can do, things like strategy, real creativity, and building client relationships. And the results of this shift? Well, they're kind of insane. First, his personal output just skyrockets. He goes from writing about 2,000 words a day to a staggering 10,000. That's not just a little better. That is a 5-fold increase in his raw production capacity. But it's not just about writing more words. All that new capacity means he can now handle 5 times the number of clients he used to. And here's the absolute kicker, the most important part. He does it all without working a single extra hour. He's not working harder. He's scaling his impact. He finally broke free. Okay, so you can see the power here. You're probably thinking, I'm sold, but how do I actually build this for myself? Well, the good news is you don't need 100 complicated tools. You just need the right ones. Think of it like you're assembling your own personal digital executive team. And this team has 3 key members. First, you've got the brain. That's your large language model, like a GPT-4o, that handles strategy and builds the structure of your content. Then you need the artist. These are your generative media tools for creating amazing visuals super fast. And finally, you need the glue, automation platforms that connect all your different apps so they work together like a well-oiled machine. Now, as we talk about all this automation, I know there's a big question that always comes up. What about quality? What about the soul of the work? And this brings us to what is, without a doubt, the most important part of this entire system. You, the human spark. Let's just tackle this one head on, because it's a totally fair question. Can AI really produce work that connects with people? The answer is no, not on its own. If you're just copying and pasting from a chatbot, your work is going to be generic, it's going to be soulless, and frankly, it's going to fail. People can spot lazy AI content from a mile away. And that brings us to the absolute golden rule of this whole thing. AI generates the draft, you generate the value. Think of AI as an amazing co-pilot. It gets you 80% of the way there. It does the research, builds the structure, writes the first pass. But that last 20%, that's you. And that's where 100% of the real value is. The stories, the unique insights, the emotional connection, that can only come from you. And at the end of the day, that is the whole point. Your customers aren't buying a product, not really. They're buying into a person, a story, a connection. The real power of this AI system is that it automates all the boring clutter, freeing you up to focus on the one thing that actually matters, building that genuine human connection with your audience. So this all leads to the big one, the final question. Will AI replace entrepreneurs? And the answer is both no and yes. No, AI will not replace the visionary, the strategist, the creative builder. But the entrepreneurs who refuse to adapt, they will be replaced by the entrepreneurs who do. The choice is yours.